Hello kindergarten. So today we are working on the learning objective that we will know what a natural environment is and we will know what a constructed environment is. So remember that a constructed environment is a city or a neighborhood where we have buildings and roads. And a natural environment would be something like the beach or an island or the mountains or a forest or a park or your backyard where there isn't roads and streets and things. And so we are going to create an artwork that combines a natural environment and a constructed environment. So the natural environment will be the background, and then we'll add a tree, which will also add to our natural environment. And then we're going to do a constructed piece where we're going to add a tree house. So this is my tree house in the shape of a boat, because your tree house doesn't have to be a traditional house shape. It can be whatever shape you want it to be. But you need to make sure that you include windows and some doors somewhere. So what I started with for this one is the backyard. The backyard is a natural environment. Yes, we do have a building here and that falls under constructed, but the backyard where you play, it's a natural environment. It's got grass and trees and flowers. And so now we need to add our tree that we're going to put onto our background to add our tree house to. So we're going to do a very simple tree, which is just a circle top and a tree trunk shape. So you're going to start with a green piece of paper and a circle shape. You're going to set that down on your green paper and you're going to trace around it with your pencil. All the way around. And then you're going to use scissors to carefully cut the circle out. And remember, when you cut with scissors, that you don't turn your scissors as you cut. You keep your scissors straight and you turn the paper. And if you cut slowly, you'll be able to stay on that circle. Very carefully. Cut slow, turn slow. You notice my scissors are not turning. They're staying in one direction, and then I'm turning the paper. So this is my tree top. Your scraps can be recycled. And then I'm going to give you a tree trunk shape and a piece of brown construction paper. So you're going to take, now I'm going to save myself some time. If I put this tree trunk right in the middle, I have to trace the bottom and all the sides. But if I scoot this tree trunk down to the bottom of the brown paper, I don't have to trace the bottom of it. I just have to trace the sides of it. So you're going to trace this with your pencil right along the edge. You're going to need to make a nice dark line because this paper is dark, so it's hard to see your pencil lines on that dark paper. And then you're going to carefully cut this out. And again, you turn your paper, not your scissors. Now you have to decide how tall you want your tree. So you're going to overlap the tree trunk onto the tree. And you could scoot the tree up to the top of the paper and the tree trunk down to the bottom, and it takes up almost all your paper. Or you could scoot the bottom of it down and have a lot of the tree trunk overlap into the green tree, and your tree could be shorter. It's up to you. You don't have to put it right in the middle. You could scoot it over to one side if you want, but try not to have it hang off your paper. On this example here, my natural environment is a forest, and I added the tree in the front and I did it really tall, so it takes up a lot of that space. I'm going to do this one a little bit different because I want you to be able to see my house. And if I put it up here, I think it just takes up, and I want you to be able to see that there's another tree there. So I'm going to make this tree shorter. So the first thing that you're going to do is, once you've decided how big your tree is going to be, you're going to move the tree trunk and you're going to put a frame of glue on the green circle, and then you're going to flip it over right where it is. You're not going to move it up higher or lower. You're going to try and keep it right where it is. And then your tree trunk, you need to do a frame of glue as well. That way this tree isn't flapping around on your paper. If you don't do a frame of glue, then the tree will just be flapping, and we want it to be nice and flat on your paper. So here's my tree trunk and my tree. Now I'm ready to do my tree house. So this is where you get to be creative. You get to decide what shape tree house you want to draw. Do you want it to be like a car, a race car, or a helicopter treehouse shape? Do you want it to be a boat? Do you want it to be a traditional treehouse shape? I've got a traditional treehouse right here that I drew and cut out. I also have a castle that I drew and colored, but I haven't cut out yet. So you get to decide. I'm going to go ahead and draw a traditional treehouse where I start with the top of a triangle. So that's this shape here. Then I'm going to add a skinny rectangle on this side, which is this here. And then I'm going to come straight back. And then this is a diagonal line. So now I have my roof, just like this shape here. And now I need the bottom of the treehouse, which is 2 straight lines. I'm going to bring that down to the bottom of my paper because I want your treehouse to fill this white paper up. I don't want you to draw a tiny little treehouse. Now, it's important that you include windows and doors so that people know it's a treehouse and it's not just a helicopter that's crashed into your tree, and it's not a castle shape, but you don't know why it's there. You want people to know it's a treehouse, so you need to add windows and doors to get in. So my boat, my sailboat, I needed to add a door somewhere, and I forgot to do that. So you're going to draw your treehouse. On this one I added lots of detail. I added window frames and the lines in the windows. I added shutters. I added window boxes with flowers. I added a window frame around this window, a frame around the door, a window to the door, and a knob. You can add lots and lots of detail. I did straight lines for the roof, and I did the straight lines for the roof here, but you could do scalloped line for the roof if you want. So after you have it drawn, you're going to outline it with marker. The more details you add, the nicer your drawing looks. So that's why I like to try and add other details, so it's not just some rectangles for the windows that I add a window frame. I could add breaks in the windows, those lines in the windows too. Okay, so once you've outlined, you're ready to color in, and I want you to use colored pencil because your treehouse is so small. Colored pencil will do a nice job. And I want to show you how to use my special colored pencil sharpeners. Whenever you use my special colored pencil sharpeners, you need a paper towel, and my sharpeners look like this. There are 2 holes to the sharpeners. There's a big one and a small one. You won't use the big one, you'll only use the small one. And when you want to sharpen a colored pencil, you're going to put it in the hole and you're going to twist while you push. If you just kind of twist and don't push, nothing will happen. So you know it's working when you get the pencil shavings to come. So you know it's working when shavings come out of there and you're doing it correctly. So as you twist, you'll get a nice sharp point, and then your pencil shavings should be on this paper towel, and your sharpener should stay on the paper towel. Your sharpener should never be by a trash can. So then you're going to color in neatly your house. All the way in. You can leave your windows white, but everything else should be colored in. When you have your treehouse colored in all the way, you can leave the windows white, but everything else should be colored in. Then you're going to carefully cut out your treehouse. You're going to cut right along the black marker. You're not going to cut the black marker off. You're going to cut right along the edge of it. Notice how I'm turning my paper, not my scissors. This scrap can be recycled. And the last and final step, is to glue your treehouse on. And you can glue your treehouse up above the tree trunk, or it can overlap the tree trunk if you want. That's up to you. But when you glue it on, I want you to do a frame of glue again. Don't just put a dot in the middle, because then your treehouse will flap around on your paper. A nice frame of glue. And it's okay if it sticks off the top of your treehouse. Your tree, I mean. Top of your tree, your house, treehouse sticks up off the top. And there you have your finished treehouse showing a constructed environment and a natural environment. So the natural environment is nature, parks, trees, forests, the ocean, an island, and then your constructed environment is the treehouse itself. Good job, kindergarten.